Hello, I'm Donna Motta, and I'm here today to talk about the Fall River City Charter Review Group and their progress so far in getting signatures and getting this question on the ballot. I have with me City Councilor Mike Miozza and Ron Thomas, who is also a volunteer. And we're going to give you some background and some updates of what's going on in this very important issue. So welcome. Hello, Mike and Ron. Thank you for being here. And I know that you've been actually really working on this issue for quite some time, correct, Mike? I mean, you didn't just start this in the last 6 months.
No, this has been a long effort. Started at the end of December of 2011, December of 2011, when we formed the group. Ron is one of the original board members of that group, and our initial goal was to get this question on the 2015 ballot. We thought it was going to be fairly simple to get the signatures. We need 10,000 signatures to get 7,500 registered voters to get the question on the ballot. I used to have a motto, 100 people to get 100 signatures. Well, it didn't quite work out that way. We spend a lot of time out in front of supermarkets, grocery stores, convenience stores, collecting signatures. So what we decided to do is, when we realized we weren't going to get it on in 2015, we said, let's hold off and let's shoot for 2017. So we picked it up again 2015. We were trying to get it on the 2013 ballot. We said we'll get it on the 2015, so we ramped up efforts over the last year to get the question on the ballot.
Okay. Now, how many signatures do you have so far of the registered voters? Because obviously you have to be registered to be on.
Right. So you have to certify. So we have what we call raw signatures and certified signatures. Currently, as we sit here today, we have 3,600 certified signatures. We need about 7,600, so about 4,000 short. Now, that being said, yesterday we turned in 1,200 raw signatures. Next week we intend to turn in another 1,200. And as this process goes through, we'll probably be turning in about 1,000 signatures. So, to answer your question, we're really confident we're going to get this on. We're going to get this on the ballot, and that will be done collecting signatures no later than June 30th.
Now, I know there's been some confusion about what the Charter Review Group is actually trying to do. People say, oh, you're getting the question on the ballot. But what does that mean specifically, very clearly, for the taxpayers of the city?
Well, simply it. We're going to get a question on the ballot. We're looking to get a question on the ballot whether the residents of Fall River want to see a review of our city charter.
And what does that encompass?
Well, that encompasses electing a 9-member commission who will review the city charter from front to back, make sure that it aligns with Massachusetts state law. We'll hold a series of public meetings whereby people can weigh in. So we, through my 6 years of campaigning, Donna, people have asked for a lot of changes. They want to see the mayor's term go to 4 years. They want to see city councils elected by ward. They want to see the mayor not serve on the school committee. Just a whole host of issues that the public has discussed. And the only way to get those changed is through a change of our city charter. So this will be the mechanism to do that. So a commission will be elected, and over the next 18 months, once they're seated in, let's see, that'd be January of 2016, they'll have 18 months to make recommendations based on public input as to what the citizens of Fall River want to see changed on the city charter.
Now, you gave me 3 examples.
Mm-hmm.
Did that just come to mind, or were those the top examples?
I would say those are the ones I most commonly hear. There's so many of them. I mean, I don't know, Ron, anything else that comes to mind?
Well, my number one thing is so that no one has to go out and collect these signatures again. Review it at least once every 7 or 10 years. At the very least, you should be reviewing it to keep it up to date with state law right along the line. This has been a struggle trying to get all these signatures together and stuff. We've been out there in the snowstorms,
yes,
rainstorms and stuff. And a lot of it is the people do not understand what's entailed, what the city charter consists of. Okay, broken down, it's 29 pages, that's it, 29 pages. And it's double-sided, but it's the content that's in it, and a lot of it is legalese and stuff. It isn't easy reading, I agree, but that's the way the laws are written, and that's what we got to abide by. So in order to change some things, you don't like the way it's worked, you got to revise the wording in the city charter.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up. We're not in line with the state rules and regulations.
Well, we don't know. No one's reviewed it. Okay, up in some surrounding towns and stuff just had one Or was it in Newburyport?
Newburyport.
Newburyport.
They're the last city that
It
went
was
through
the
a
last
charter.
city went through it, and they had 19 instances where they were in direct violation of the state of Massachusetts laws, general laws. So unless somebody goes in there and digs it apart, article by article, sub-article by sub-article, then that's the only way you're going to know whether you're in compliance with state law or not.
Well, let me ask you this question, and again, I'm getting back to the taxpayers of the city because you obviously want as many signatures as you could collect. If we're not in line, if the city of Fall River is not in line with keeping up with the state laws and regulations, does that mean a penalty of some sort?
Not at the present time.
I don't think so, Donna. I don't think there's any. I mean, I think it's just we just don't have a mechanism, as Ron said, to regularly review our charter so that we can catch these things to make sure that our Constitution, our charter is in line with Mass state law. So I can't believe that there'll be any penalty. I mean, there may be something I'm not aware of. I tend to doubt it. I don't think Newburyport had received any type penalties. I just think that we need to make sure that the document that governs us is in line with Massachusetts state law. And as Ron said earlier, we don't want to have anybody have to go through this process again of collecting 10,000 signatures to have our charter reviewed. It should be in the charter a mechanism for a regular review, whether we want to do it every 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, whatever it is that the citizens want to do. But there'll be some regular mechanism that'll occur, and if we want to change something at that point in time, it'll give us the ability. Right now, we can't change anything unless we do special legislation. That's the only mechanism that we have. And the last time that was used was back in the 70s when they went from a 4-year term for the mayor to a 2-year term.
Back in the 70s?
Yes, that's the last time there's been
Wow.
any
Okay.
changes to our city charter.
I mean, I knew it's been a long time, but
Right.
that is a
But-
hugely long
But
time.
to Ron's point, we've never had a review. We've never had a stern foul review of the city charter. So we know, we got to imagine if that smaller city had 19 conflicts and they didn't go through a review as a long period as we have, we've got to have as many, if not more. So this is an opportunity to fix that.
Well, let me ask you this. You said you started in 2011, and you
Yep.
were hoping to get it on the ballot in 2013.
That's correct.
That didn't happen.
No.
And why do you think that was, though? Because I know you've been pushing for it, Mike.
I just think it's people didn't understand, as Ron said earlier. A lot of times, people think it's about charter schools. Then they might have, they didn't understand, well, what is it you're looking to have changed? And really, we weren't looking to have anything changed. Our group mission statement is simply to get the signatures to get it on the ballot. We have no vested interest in terms of what gets changed. Essentially, once we get the questions, this group may not stay together because we've accomplished our mission. I'm not saying that would be the case because we talked about doing some education.
Sure.
So we probably will stick together. But to be true to our mission, we accomplished our mission. So we could disband at that point in time. So we're just looking to get the question on the ballot, and the people of Fall River can say, yes, we want a review of our charter, or no, we don't want a review of our charter. So they have a voice now. They'll have a voice as to how they're governed in the future.
So it's really not about the group per se. It's about, hey, taxpayers, you need to come forth and say you want the review. And it's important, obviously, for the city.
It is. We're probably, Don, I got to believe we're probably the only city out of 351 cities in Massachusetts that does not have a mechanism for a regular review of our charter. I mean, it's, New Bedford has a review where they have a subcommittee of their city council. They meet, I think it's every 7 years. So other communities have a mechanism to review our charter. We don't. So why would that be a problem for anybody? And so I know what you're saying. We don't have an agenda. We're not looking. We're not pushing for any of the items that we spoke of earlier. Whatever the public decides at that point, that's going to be for them to decide.
I have to ask you this. How did this whole issue catch your attention in the first place? Almost 4 years ago now.
Yeah, no, it actually was probably 6 years when I started campaigning for city
wow.
council, because what happened was, as I went around and talked to people, they would always bring up some issue that they weren't happy about and you wanted to see it fixed. So there was people that said, I don't like the idea that the mayor serves on the school committee. I don't think he should. I think the mayor's term should be 4 years. I think councilors should serve by ward. I think the council should have their own legal representation. I think there should be term limits. So all these questions were coming up, and so as I got more involved, I realized, well, there's something the city council can't change, but there is a way to change it, and it's through the city charter. So as I started to investigate, how we could get the changes that people were asking for. Then I come to realize and learn that we'd never had a review of our charter. Basically, it's been a dormant document that's just basically sat out there. And I checked what other communities were doing. And I'm like, wow, they have dynamic, active documents, and ours is just there, it's static. So that was the impetus. I started talking to some people, and they got interested. And I said, hey, we want to help you with this cause. I've been fortunate. This group, and it's only 7 of us that have been really together for the 3 years now, that have stuck together. Because it's been a roller coaster ride. You have your ups and your downs. You get frustrated sometimes, to be quite frank, to say, maybe people really don't want this, and why are we doing this? But then you say, this is the right thing, and we're gonna get this done. And I'm pumped up right now because I can see that light at the end of the tunnel. We're almost there, and we're gonna get this done. We believe that we will have the signatures that we need by June 30th of this year to get the question on the 2015 ballot.
Now, do you have the backing of the rest of the council for this?
Good question, Donna. Some councilors have been more helpful than others. Some have given some financial assistance when we first got started so that we could do mailings and buy shirts and pins. Could I use up more help? Yes, absolutely, we could use more help. And there's still time for people to get involved and help.
Now, in fairness, there has been so much going on between the recall of Mayor Flanagan and the new administration and people being frustrated with the economy. So I didn't mean to just kind of throw that at you, but I'm sure that various city councilors in the city have their own issues too that they're looking at.
I think I've dealt with those same issues as well.
Yes. Oh, Mike, I'm not saying you haven't. Of course not. But you did form a nonprofit group. You're nonprofit.
Yes, we are.
501c?
I don't know. We're technically a ballot committee group. So we did file with the city clerk's office. We filed with Boston. So yeah, we're basically nonprofit. All the monies that we're using, most of the monies that we're using now is to we've hired a professional signature gathering organization to help with the signatures. We've used some of the money for education purposes. We're doing a whole bunch of fundraisers over the next couple of months to raise money. And if we have any money left over after this effort, we are going to use that for educational purposes so that people really understand what the process is and how they can get involved in the process.
So you've obviously been paying for the education and for pushing this forward.
Yep.
And you're doing fundraising.
We're doing fundraising. We've gotten some very generous donations from some of the business leaders in the community. I can name a few: Joe Marshall, Bill LaPointe, Tony Cordero, Larry Kudo, Alan Malcoma. And there's more. Those are the ones that come to mind. Some of our councilors have given some good financial donations. So, and those are the things that have helped us hire this company. Because between that and fundraising, some of our committee members have donated money out of their own pocket to the cause. So we're really vested in this. That's why we're gonna see this through and make it happen.
Are you okay with saying what your budget is? How much money you've collected?
Oh God, collected? I'm not sure. You got any idea what we collected? I don't know, because we're spending so. It's hard to say, Donna.
It's kind of like we're holding an even keel type of thing there. You can't spend money you don't have, but we're pushing it.
No, but she's asking us how much have we really spent on this effort so far, you think?
Yes, I'm asking that question in tandem with another one.
I would say, just off the top of my head, Donna, we've spent at least, I'd say $8,000 to $10,000.
Yeah. Wow.
At least that much, and could be more by the time it's all said and done. So anywhere between 8 to 10. I don't have, the treasurer, but if, good question. I mean, that's what we've spent so far at this, roughly.
Obviously, I asked that because the taxpayers would want to know. I mean, how you're doing fundraising, and I know you've had several. It's been a tough winter too.
Yeah.
So you're continuing the fundraising effort.
And it's tough because we end up going back to the same people that so it makes it tougher. Because we have one a month. Sometimes we have 2 a month. So it makes it very, very difficult because you're going to the same well sometimes.
Right.
But people have been very loyal, very good. All of our fundraisers have been successful. We've been on the plus side. Sometimes we didn't make as much as we thought or we would like to, but at least we've been on the plus. So every little bit helps. And like I said, we've got 4 or 5 yet to go before June 30th. That money will likely go to help pay off what we owe for the professional signature gathering organization, because that didn't come cheaply.
And you're confident it will go through?
I am. I would sit here and say right now,
Okay.
I don't want to say 100%, 95, I just can't believe we're not going to get it done. We're that close. We're only a couple of thousand signatures away from getting it. We have the professionals collecting. We have volunteers out collecting. We feel we're going to get it. I would say 95 plus, confident. So
Excellent.
we're going to get it.
Excellent. Well, obviously, good luck to you. We're also
Thank you.
very close to the end of the first show.
Really? Wow.
Yes, time just flies when you're having fun. And, you know, I know it's been somewhat fun for you because it's your cause as well. But I'm Donna Motta, and I'm talking to Ron Thomas and City Councilor Mike Miozza. We're talking about the charter review question that will, let's be positive, hopefully appear on the November ballot. It's been a long run for you.
It has been.
Our
For all of us.
For everybody.
Yeah.
And it's important to the citizens that you get involved. We will actually talk about that, so stay tuned to the cable station, obviously, and we'll be back with more information on how you can get involved with the Fall River City Charter Review Group. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Ron, for your time.
Donna.
And thank you very much to Keith Tebow and the people here who are helping us put this valuable information on the air.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Donna Motta, and I'm here today with City Councilor Mike Miozza and Ron Thomas, who are both very involved in the Fall River City Charter Review Group. The mission of this program right now is to tell you how you can get involved with getting the Charter Review Commission question, the review group question on the ballot for November in 2015. It's been a long haul. We talked a little bit about this already, 5 years and plus and counting, but Mike, you're confident that it will get on the ballot?
I'm very confident that's going to get on. Our goal is to have our signatures collected by June 30th, and we're very confident we'll meet that goal.
And hopefully the weather will cooperate with you.
Yes, we had a rough winter, and that made it tough to go out and collect signatures. You know, everybody's aware of the winter we had, so it kind of put a little damper on things. But now the weather's broken, and we'll be out there hitting the pavement very heavy.
We talked a little bit during the break about support. You talked to Mayor Sutter.
I did have a conversation with Mayor Sutter, probably, God, I think it was before the snowstorms hit. It was in January, and you know, I knew that this was, you know, this effort was going to ramp up. Didn't know where Mayor Sutter stood with the charter, so we went over breakfast, and we had, I think, most of the breakfast, that's what we talked about. And I explained the process to him. He wasn't familiar with it. And so I explained it to him. He didn't commit to me one way or the other at that point in time. You know, Mayor Sutter's the type of man that wants to research. He's not going to, you know, sign on to something he doesn't clearly understand. I've learned that in the short time that I've known the man.
But you're also that way, Mike.
Yeah, I am that way, too.
You'd
Right.
like to be analytic.
And so I respect that. I get that. That's basically who I am, too. So as we sit here now, I really don't know where the mayor sits. I mean, obviously he ended up having to deal with all the snowstorms. Now we're dealing with budget, so I really don't know. I would hope that he would support this process. This is good government. I got to believe that the man believes, you know, in good government. So I got to believe, you know, and again, I'm not going to speak for the mayor, that I'm hoping that he supports it. I mean, we've gotten some great support from some of my colleagues. Ray Mitchell has been really, really good on the council. He talks about it on his radio show. He's written articles to the Herald News about the charter review. He speaks about it. He's contributed financially to the committee, and one other person that's done an outstanding job is Representative Alan Sylvia. He's been very, very supportive. He attends, I think he's attended all our fundraisers. He's allowed us to use his office as a collection site for people, so if people are in the south end of the city, his office is open most days of the week, so you can stop by there. So, so when you talk about support, we've gotten really good support from those elected officials.
Now, you're also looking for volunteers still, of course.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so if somebody says, hey, I saw this wonderful program with all these wonderful people and I want to get involved, how can they do that?
Well, I think the easiest way, we do have a Facebook page, so it's one way you could reach us, but I'm going to give you, I'll put my cell phone number out there. It's 508-415-7127, 508-415-7127. I hope after I leave this show, or whenever this show is reviewed, I hope my phone is ringing off the hook, because we still need people to help gather signatures. We're a few thousand away, and the more people that we have, even if they take a petition and bring it to a family outing, whether it be a wedding, a cookout, 40 signatures help. So if we get 40 from this person, 40 from that person, those all add up, those sheets add up. And it's collective, a collective effort, and we'll get this done.
I understand you also were collecting signatures at Government Center in downtown Fall River. Are you still doing that?
That is correct. We've set up a schedule. We started early April. We have volunteers that go out there from 10 to 12 every Saturday. And what we try to do is make it easy so people could just drive up. We'll put the clipboard through the window, sign the petition, we'll take it back, and you're on your way. It's been fairly successful. We're trying to get people to know about it, so this is a good venue to do that. We did that a year ago. We advertised on the radio station, and that was very helpful. I think we picked up well over 100 signatures that day.
That's excellent.
Yeah, it is good. Cars were coming by, so we've made ourselves available. So if you don't get us on a Saturday morning, you can always go to Representative Alan Sylvia's office. That's staffed almost 5 days a week, I think Saturdays as well, and you can sign the charter petition there.
Excellent. Mike? We do have another guest,
Yes.
and the handsome man. I really like to talk to both of you. So, Ron, you're a volunteer. How long have you been involved?
Right from the onset, I thought it was what he was trying to do was the right thing to do to try to help the city government function better. If you look at the state of affairs, it's in serious, dire need of help, and this is one way of going in and try to fix some of these situations that we've gotten into.
Now, how many volunteers are there? I mean, I know you have the group, but how many would you estimate?
Maybe 30.
Yeah, I would say about there. We got a board of 7 and probably around 30 people. And people have helped in so many different ways. Whether, Donna, you have a radio show, your radio show has helped get the word out there. Ray Mitchell's radio show. So any of the press, people writing letters to the editors. There's been help in so many small ways, and those people don't get recognized to help this, but all that help, sometimes we get people that'll print some of our literature for free for us. So
I was just going to say that, Mike.
Yeah.
You said you have this nice little pamphlet.
Yeah.
Now, is it available to folks who may want something visual?
Yeah, we have pamphlets, we have informational pamphlets, we have the 8.5 by 11s. Yeah, I mean, that they would have to give us a call, and we would make it available to them. We have a lot of stores throughout the city that are posted. Nice. They'll have our brochures up. A lot of one, for instance, New Boston Bakery. Oh my God, the signatures, Donna, we've got out of that location. That one location has just been incredible. That man's running a business and he's getting us signatures, and we've gotten, I don't know, I would say at least 400 to 500 signatures just out of that one business. It's just been amazing, and we're very thankful for that assistance.
That's awesome. It really is awesome.
If people want more information, I'd say go over to our website or to the Facebook site, and that'd be the place to get the most current information and any other schedules, any events that you'd like to participate in as a fundraiser. We'll list them all there on our Facebook page. So that'd be one way of getting involved in stuff and seeing what it's all about if you're still, not sure which way you want to go with this.
And I think this is a very positive connotation. It's just positive, and we want to stay with the positive.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I hate to say it, I mean, it's like a no-brainer. It's something we need to do, Donna. It's long overdue. It's the right thing to do. I personally don't have an agenda in this. I know Ron doesn't, none of the committee members. We just believe this is the right thing to do for the city in this time. I mean, if you don't like what's happened over the last 5 years in terms of how our government worked, if you don't like pay as you throw, you don't like some of the decisions that came out of Government Center, here's a way for you to have a voice. This is a way for you for us to fix what isn't quite right. And all we're looking for is balance. I don't believe, and if people recall, we had a mayor sit in front of that city council and said, really don't care what you think about pay as you throw. It's coming in. The people's voices, we are the elected people that represent the citizens of Fall River, and our voices were stifled. We need to fix that, Donna. That needs to be fixed. A review of our charter, amend our charter where it needs to be amended, get it in line with Mass state law. It's a starting process. And then every 5, 7, 10 years, whatever people decide, we can go and look. If we don't like the way something is working, we now can go and fix that. But we don't have that mechanism right now. We have to count on special legislation to do that. And it's not the way most communities do it. And we have an opportunity here to fix something that's been broken for some time.
And the nice thing is, once it gets on the ballot, the committee will still work on educating the public
Yes.
about the issue.
Yes.
Now, people obviously could access the charter.
Yes, it's
Right.
on the
Is it online?
It's on the city website.
Okay.
This was printed right from the city website. You go to, I think it's City Council. You'll see ordinances, and the charter's the first thing there. So it's like Ron said. It's not a very long document. What is it, about 45 pages? So
29.
29 pages. So it's not a very long document, but certainly they can print them, some addendums to it and additions. But yeah, you can print it right off the website.
That's wonderful. Now, before we close up this part of the show, is there anything else you'd like to add or you think would be important for the people to know?
Well, the thing I can say is it's for the people, by the people. There's other ways you could go in there and change the city charter. The mayor could elect to go to legislature and ask to have it be changed and have them pass it. Okay, but then he gets to appoint the people doing the reviewing. Same way with the city council. The city council could pass an ordinance saying, okay, let's go review the charter, but then they get to appoint the people doing the reviewing. Let's put democracy to work and elect the people that are going to be doing the reviewing. That's the whole basis why we're going through this and getting these signatures and stuff. Doing it the hard way, but it's the most democratic way.
Very good. Very good. Thank you very much, Fall River City Councilor Mike Miozza
Donna.
and Ron Thompson, who is involved in the Fall River City Charter Review Group. Much luck to you.
Thank you.
Get out there.
We will get
Actually,
it done.
I want to say to the folks out there, get out there, get involved. Mike brought up the purple trash bags. I didn't. So if you want a positive way to get involved in the city, this is the way to do it. The Fall River City Charter Review Group, folks. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching.